right, man. We've got a marinade here that I've taken some T-bones out of the freezer and thawed them out, and I put them in this marinade about 1 o'clock this afternoon. So we're going over making some steaks. The key is my steaks were, let's say, 90% thawed out. And then, before I thawed them out, I stabbed them a bunch of times with a skewer over and over, making all those little holes in them. And then I placed them in my brine. Now this brine is, well, I always do my staples. You gotta have a acid. For that, this one I use lemon juice. So I probably have about 5 or 6 tablespoons of lemon juice in there. I threw a couple cubes of beef bouillon. I threw a few tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, some onion, a little garlic, and then I had this leftover Buffalo Wild Wings sauce that was getting old. It was the Parmesan ranch, Parmesan garlic, whatever that sauce is. My wife likes it, but it's been in there forever. So I dumped the rest of that in there. It's probably about a quarter bottle. And then some water and a little salt and pepper. And some rosemary from our garden. And those have been in there for about 4 hours. Now what I'm doing over here is I am pre-cooking my steaks just a little bit. I've got this just on it's kind of a simmer, a little warm simmer. I took 3 steaks and I put them in there. You don't want to cook them all the way through. I want to sear them all at the same time for this particular dinner tonight. And so I'm just going to let them rest up here on the warming rack while I throw my other 3 steaks in. So we'll take this guy in here. And that is 1 stick of butter in my cast iron. And these should be some really tasty steaks. A lot better than the ones that I made a couple weeks ago where I was rushing and they weren't completely thawed before I threw them in the smoker. Today I'm not even using the smoker. So what I'm doing is I'm putting them on one side and covering them for, I don't know, a couple minutes, maybe a minute. And then while those guys are cooking, I'm gonna just take some salt, sprinkle, 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 and then some pepper. Yep. Bleeding good. Now what I've got here on my Blackstone is I've turned it way up. It is all the way up on the left side, and it's just been heating for about 20 minutes. So the goal is we're going to get a good sear. We want to cook these short and fast, get a good sear on them. There we go. Also, before I marinated anything, I trimmed off all the nasty bits, any thick fat pockets, the sinew and all that stuff that T-bones tend to have around them. So these are nice clean steaks. Right, we're ready to flip these guys because you don't want them cooking too far. I'm gonna flip it over, and I can already tell I nailed it on the tender because they're practically falling off the bone already, just coming out of the marinade. We should use some smaller tongs, but that's okay. Here we go. We'll let those simmer for a minute. I'm gonna flip these other steaks over, salt and pepper the other side, so they're all ready to go. And then I'll only have a couple steaks to have to do. Yoop. Come on, get it by the bone. There we go. A little salt and pepper on this side. In my butter, I added the 1 stick of butter that we're kind of pre-cooking in. I added about 2 tablespoons of garlic, chopped garlic, crushed garlic, whatever that is. I like garlic. and it goes really well. And I think this seasoning mix is gonna, it's already got garlic in it for one thing, but I think just some fresh garlic in with the butter was the way to go. So we shall see. And my wife, if she sees how much pepper I'm putting on these, she's gonna kill me. But I think it's delicious. So a lot of that's gonna fall off when we cook it anyway, so that's what I say. Okay, we're gonna pull these other ones out, throw them up on the warming rack, and that half of my grill can pretty much be shut off now. What I'll do is, I don't have my hot hands out here, so I can't pull the cast iron off because it's pretty warm. But what I'll do is push it back to the corner and turn it up. And I will reuse this butter while I'm searing. Normally I like a canola oil, but today I'm cooking my steaks with butter because steaks cooked with butter are amazing. Okay, and some pepper. All right, so what I'll do is I'll dunk in the butter and throw them on the skillet, just to get a fresh, you know, lubricant on there. Actually, yeah, that'll work. All right, so I seasoned them all. I dunked them real quick, put them on there. We got a nice brown. And then I flipped them. And in flipping them over, I dunked the other side. Oh yeah. And they've been on probably about 1 minute per side. And that is a good looking steak. Nice and tender. Coming off. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Guys ready? Yum. They smell amazing. Sorry for whipping the camera around. Ooh. Yeah, look at that meat's already peeling off the bone. Delicious. All right. And these won't be overdone. They're still super juicy and yeah. There we go. That is one of my, oh, look at the red juices on that. That is one of my more favorite ways to make a steak on a Blackstone.